We are now in our 7th year, and being here and thinking about how we can provide opportunities for students to pursue entrepreneurial opportunities, to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, and really to build the agency necessary to really put yourself in a position where you can act on ideas and act on dreams. And again, this program is really a testament to the wonderful opportunity here. I know Chris Rosa is not here, but he will joining us later. I'm really excited about this too, because Chris and I, we go back a long time, and sitting here about 2 years ago and really imagining how we can collaborate is really something really super exciting. So, but none of this would be actually happening without really the support of the Viscardi family and the Viscardi team. I mean, Dawn, Kim, and Chris at the forefront, but also the team here at the Hynes Institute with Marisol and Rihanna and Shanae and Lindy and our students who have been also serving as peer mentors. Again, this is really a collaborative effort, and I think this is also what the Hynes Institute is about, this is what Viscardi is about, and also what entrepreneurship is about, that this is not a solitary exercise, it's really an exercise in collaboration. There's one person, though, that I would like to point out now, which is our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Tricia Mulligan, and she has been a tremendous support of the program, and I want to invite her now to extend a warm welcome also from Iona University. So thank you all, and welcome.
Thank you, Christoph. I'm really happy to be here today. This is really one of the best events in our 2nd year, and I look forward to many more of these to come. As institutions committed to inclusive education, engagement, and advancement, as you all probably are aware already, this program is very much focused on support for the development of entrepreneurs in the disability community. And over the course of the last several weeks, through universal design and accessible platforms, which is something we should be using in all spaces, participants have had the opportunity to explore what it means to become entrepreneurs and innovators through interactive class engagement and activities in partnership with Iona peer mentors. Over 61 million Americans have a disability and need equal opportunities at school, work, and within our communities. Viscardi Center, as Christoph referenced, and Iona, every day and today are focused on creating a more accessible, inclusive, equitable world for people with disabilities. And programs like this are a critical step in ensuring that access occurs. So our PitchFest today is going to be the opportunity for our entrepreneurs to shine and share their ideas. And so we will learn about their learning, and in turn we will learn from them. So thank you so much for being here, and congratulations to all of you in advance.
Thank you, Dr. Mulligan. My job is pretty much done now. I'm going to pass it on to Lindy in a second, who will guide you through this morning. But I do want to give a special shout out, obviously, to our judges who take time out of their busy schedule to, listen to the presentations. Obviously, there will be winners at the end for non-equity cash grants, but everybody's a winner. So a special thanks and a congratulations to our participants of our program. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. You're showing a tremendous amount of energy that, I admire and really envy in a way that really I think is motivating for all of us. So congratulations to all of you for getting to this stage, and good luck for the presentations today.
Thank you, Christoph, and thank you for everybody being here today. This is great, and for us, this being the 2nd year is pretty amazing. But my job here is to move this along. So I'm going to start with introducing the judges really briefly, as well as our participants as they go on. We are excited to just see this presentation. So. First, we have Steve Markowitz, who serves in the Viscardi Board of Directors. Steve is a proud advocate for the rights of people with disabilities and their pursuit of educational and vocational dreams. Then we have Dr. Allison Munch, who is our Chief Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Officer here at Iona University. She's also an associate professor here, and really being a trailblazer for us here at Iona. And then we have Christine Walker, who is an entrepreneur herself, but she is a strategic and seasoned executive with 25 years of experience. So thank you all for being here, and you guys are gonna have a lot of fun tonight. So today's presentations is 4 minutes video presentations from all the participants, followed by a 4-minute Q&A. we will be sort of timing the judges. Since the students already did their parts with the timing, we will be timing the judges to move things along. All the Q&A will be live. Not all the presentations will be live since we have video, so just a heads up. But with that, and no further ado, I will bring up Miguel Angel, who is using applied anthropology to support a more equitable society.
Davila Applied Anthropological Research, DAR LLC, using applied anthropology to support a more equitable society. I am the founder, Miguel Angel Davila. In the local business context, New York State certified 4,300 minority and women-owned business enterprises. New York City has certified 10,000 minority and women-owned business enterprises. Through mission and vision, we become the research arm for organizations who do not have in-house capabilities or wish to enhance internal capabilities. We support more equitable society by empowering our clients to make more informed decisions that result in improved outcomes for their organization and the communities they serve. This is a customer segmentation chart of how we will serve certified minority women-owned business enterprises in New York region. Organizations that seek to better understand their market potential, increase profits through customer or market insights, and companies who seek advice on how to improve or streamline business processes. We save our clients time and money while enabling them to improve business operations and results. Our proprietary methodologies and use of applied anthropology provide insights not found by traditional research methods and organizations. We are a bilingual, boutique data research and business advisory firm that serves a broad array of clients. Businesses often struggle with capacity and resources for planning and executing research design in their operations. We provide custom data and research reports and conduct business operation assessments. This is a list of our pricing. Social problems that have a tremendous impact on human development and advancement are too often overlooked. These problems could be addressed through anthropological research. This is a list of competitors that offer applied business research, business-to-business consulting services, market data, and analysis. Differentiator is the DAR targets disabled and minority-owned businesses in local New York region. The competition extend their resources nationally and internationally, not specific to serving disadvantaged business owners. Key objectives are to become a B2B research think tank and consultancy, reincorporate the established business as a benefit corporation, apply for disadvantaged business enterprise certification through New York City Small Business Services, and design capability statement specifically for advertising to local government agencies. This is a list of needed resources and cost that I will use with the prize money. During the IdeaSpark journey, I uncovered my superpower of having vision. This translates into an entrepreneurial mindset that can foresee me helping business owners with project management, innovation, awareness, product development. We enable our clients to better understand market opportunities and improve business conditions by providing custom research data, business analysis through the lens of applied anthropology. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you explain a little more what is anthropological research, what that means?
Yeah, and applied anthropology, it's a set of methodologies. It's not one particular method. You can have qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, basically interviewing. What I want to offer is the research design, the designing of the study, which is a specific skill set not many entrepreneurs are taught or trained on. And then so that would be my specialty offering, is the research design for these anthropological studies, which involves human subjects research. And the applied aspect is primary data collection. That's the important aspect of when one does applied research, as opposed to my first pricing, which was for secondary data research. That is not considered applied methodology because you're using data that's already exists. The applied aspect is when you want to collect new data, new information that hasn't been published or discovered yet. And once again, that's the specialty I like to offer.
Thank you for your fabulous presentation.
Thank you.
One aspect of anthropological research are ethnographies.
Yes.
Observational methods. How does your pricing take into account that you would have to get cooperation for those environments where you are doing those observations?
My strategy for that is I'll be working directly with the leaders, the administration of these businesses. My services are only B2B. So I want to work directly with other business owners. And then as the owners, they're the ones who are hiring me and contracting my services. And then so the observational methodologies, let's say, for example, a business assessment, I would be coming in as a contractor, working for the business owner. And I hope that that would then grant me access, unfettered access, hopefully to either their clients or their employees who, are under the impression of, okay, this gentleman is working with us in a particular scope with the blessing of the business owner.
I see. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have just a clarifying question, but then a real question. The clarifying question goes back to, I think, what you were asking. So in your last page where you talk about the future and next steps, often you have to focus on being product-driven or service-oriented. They can be two different priorities. And you said you're focused on both, and you were so anyway, how are you going to phase that? Where will you be prioritizing? Or where do you think your biggest opportunity will be?
Well, business-to-business consulting has the highest value proposition for my business model. But I also want to offer other secondary supportive services. The interesting thing, the full anthropological study, that will include everything, the research design, the implementation of the study, but also I would offer a la carte services. Maybe, for example, I worked for a nonprofit advocacy organization, and I did the research design for them, and I just implemented the surveys. I was interviewing their clients. So with the options I'm offering of the different offerings, hopefully that will gain me more traction because, maybe people aren't ready for a full anthropological study. Maybe they just need secondary data. They don't want the applied data. Secondary data is good enough for them. And then so that's why the option of different offerings, I think, will gain me better traction when I'm working with customers. So to answer your question, the service, program development, program initiation, things like that is where ideally I want to focus. But also I have done work with product development on redesigning prototypes for medical equipment utilizing human metrics.
And I know we're running short on time, but it's important. AI, is that an opportunity or a threat? What's your risk reward benefit on? I don't think I heard you comment.
For me personally, individually, I want to work with humans. I'm certified in dealing with.
Actually, you did say that human subjects.
Human subjects research. Yeah, I'm certified in human subjects research, and that's where I want to focus on. Salesforce integration, that could maybe be something, as a business-to-business consultant can take on. But really, I want to focus on the designing of the research for the ethical, anthropological betterment of society.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Up next, we have, and this is going to be virtual, Nikki Harper, and her business is a Queen's Rack Assist tool for all to use.
Hi, I'm Nikki Harper, and I'm here with the Queen's Rack and Assist tool, a clothing mobility assistance tool for the disabled within pageantry and modeling. We wanted to address the lack of full accessibility for our limited mobility users within modeling and pageantry, as well as everyday functions such as just getting dressed and organizing one's clothing. We spoke with individuals from all the different communities, and a common theme and desire within all of these communities is for all users to actually have full self-independence and be able to have that self-independence for the years to come. So what is this Queen's Rack and Queen's tool? Well, the Queen's Rack and Assist tool is a completely customizable clothing rack that is aimed and designed with our disabled users in mind. We have a assist tool that will allow them to lift and lower the actual clothing rack, as well as a secondary head that can be put onto the assist tool to grasp the clothing and the hangers off the clothing rack. Our users and benefits from this are all users, and the benefits are endless. These are completely customizable racks with our users in mind. The first prototype is already in production and almost finished. The assist tool is in production as well and should be finished this month. Our market plan is to use the LLC's website already, and once we have our patent and trademark secured, then we will actually launch a secondary LLC and website for the actual assist rack, the rack and assist tool themselves. Now, we have done comparative analysis, and there is actually only a children's clothing rack that we could find that it is selling for around $230, and it is made out of wood. However, it is not portable, it is not collapsible, and the sustainability of a wood one, it only lasts under certain parameters. There is also racks for clothing on Amazon, and they are collapsible and portable, and they run around $80. However, they are not customizable, and they do not come with assist tools for the disabled user as well. We are currently looking at $250 per rack without the assist tool, with $280 with the assist tool, which, when you're talking about all the different parameters that go into this, it is actually around the right pricing. We estimate the patent and trademark to be around $1,800, just because we are wanting to do the full patent and trademarking so that we can continue this and actually put this into manufacturing and production line. If we won the IdeaSpark, we would actually want to go ahead and do the patent and trademark first and foremost. If we won any of the placings for this, we would actually do the patent and trademark first and foremost. If we won first and we were able to get that amount of money, we would very much be doing the patent and trademark, and then we would be actually making the first 5 to 10 racks and allowing our first 10 customers on the production list to start giving us the customizations they would like. We would be working on this in-house, so until we got larger than this, we would have to keep it shorter. And from this, we've learned to take in all of the teachings that we can from others, because we all learn from each other and we all benefit from each other, and that's the beauty of this. Thank you.
Hi, Nikki. Great presentation. I'm understanding that your distribution strategy is e-commerce. Are you thinking of any other distribution channels? And a second question, any other partnerships?
We already have a full website through our current LLC, which I own and run myself, which is Harper and Enigma. And we're going to actually have the e-commerce as well as an in-person option for customers to come in and actually sit down and design their racks, as well as see the production as it goes along. We have an in-person studio in Kentucky, and as well as we would also be having a exploration of customers through my partners, which is my husband who works through Kentucky Education Television, and as well as my other partner within this, who is Christy Weidman, who is a disabled veteran, and she is actually finishing her PhD in her business degree. So we have a wide variety of sectors that we connect to.
Question I have is, do you have a working prototype now?
I do. I have the first fully working prototype of the rack. It was unable to be here at the studio today because I had to ride my motorcycle up here, and it's not very portable on a motorcycle. However, I have the first full rack has 2 customizations already on it, which is it has a lower rack for shoe storage as well as a raisable rack aspect to keep all of the trains and long outfits off the ground.
And last question is, you realize if this device really does work and attracts customers and whatever, there's going to be people imitating you and trying to steal this idea regardless of the patent, and just be prepared for significant legal expenses to protect your rights and ownership.
We have been thinking about that very extensively, especially with my partner's business degree at hand. And we have decided that we really love this program, and to get the patent and trademark, we would then take each of those aspects on as we came to them. We already are allocating a fund for legal expenses as needed.
And well, first of all, I love the presentation and your outfit. That needs to be recognized. It's a curiosity question. So, to the best of your ability, I know you probably have looked into this. There's a huge unmet need here, obviously. On so many levels. You could speak to so many different audiences. So what I'm curious about in some of your research or your consumer feedback, why such a limited space? Meaning you didn't mention that many competitors. I think you mentioned that there was one. So the white space is so significant. I'm just curious why this is still such a big unmet need. What have you found in your research?
What I'm finding in my research is that really the disabled sector doesn't get as much attention. It's usually based around, within pageant fashion wear particularly, it's very much fashioned around people without any disablement or ailment, and they're all of height and well-bodied, and they don't have any issues in per se of that. They can walk around New York City in 6-inch stilettos and have no issue. And from that, I'm seeing that there's not a lot, because a lot of us that are disabled are scared to speak up, in my experience and my research. And I want to change that. That's something that I'm very passionate about. And so that is another thing that led us to create this, is we wanted to give the full ability to everybody to experience life and the beauty of getting to do fashion.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. And now I want to welcome Marquita Hughes, and she's going to walk with confidence.
Hi, my name is Marquita Hughes, and I'm here to turn women's love-hate relationship with shoes into a pure love affair. As we all know, women love shoes. Marilyn Monroe once said, "Give a girl the right shoe and she can conquer the world." Growing up, I struggled with serious insecurities about my feet, often wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. Despite my love for shoes, shopping was a painful experience. Over time, I realized I wasn't alone. Women worldwide shared my frustration, sacrificing comfort for style or vice versa. That's when I knew there had to be a better way. Marquita Hughes provides luxury shoes that are designed with comfort and aesthetics at the forefront, demand-based production, increasing quality control and reducing material waste, and unparalleled marketing and customer care. Our customers are enough, we're just here to adorn them. Our shoes are designed for the women who love fashion, value comfort and quality over cost, and are socially and environmentally conscious. The I Am Collection 2.0 is an improved version of our first collection based on consumer feedback. Memory foam, a wider footbed for enhanced comfort, ethically sourced leather, naturally biodegradable, and our mathematically engineered heels, which beautifully blends comfort with style. What sets us apart is our dedication to conscious design in every step of our business, from design to marketing. We consider who we're designing for, how we produce, how much we produce, and what language we use when interacting with our customers, such as including affirmation cards and handwritten notes with each and every purchase. Our competition analysis shows that Marquita Hughes has a prime advantage by creating a shoe that is not only beautiful and on trend, but also high in comfortability. Currently, our shoes are sold on www.marquitahughes.com and on Instagram. In the future, we would like to expand to a few concept stores and high-end department stores, as we have already had a few department stores show interest, such as Nordstrom's and Bloomingdale's. Starting in NYC, our roadmap includes growing brand awareness domestically and globally, reinvesting profits into product innovation and customization, and eventually becoming a leader in the global footwear market. There are so many awesome ideas here today, but if I am so lucky to win the prize money, it would accelerate our product development, marketing efforts, and e-commerce expansion. Although I have already launched this business, I nearly reached the point of giving up. However, I am incredibly thankful for this opportunity, the support of facilitators, and my fellow classmates. They have helped me refine my vision, build resilience, and take risks. As this is my first time presenting my business idea with such clarity and confidence, and I am truly grateful for the growth and encouragement I have received. Marquita Hughes is not just about the shoes, it's about empowering women to stride confidently in both style and in comfort every step of the way. Thank you so much for your time.
I guess I'll start this time. Just, I guess, a question clarifying, so because we're going through these so quickly, so forgive me if I missed the detail in that. In the beginning, you said it was demand-based production. And then you're talking to high demand partners like a Nordstrom and a Bloomingdale. So what is your sort of turnaround time, production, because as you said, it's a fashion forward audience that you're speaking to. And at least in my household, it's like on demand fashion, right? So I want it right now. So if you could just briefly,
Sure.
What's your timeline on that?
So overall, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to do production. But the way that I do it is demand-based production based on 80%. So what I would do is I would launch a pre-campaign, and this is what I did with my first collection. And I got enough pre-orders, and then I add another 20% of product to allocate to the people who may not want to wait that 4-ish weeks to actually get the product. So that's the part of the product that would go to the department stores.
Thanks again for a wonderful presentation. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
One is, I think I saw your demographic target, it's 18 to 40, 41, something like that.
I think that was a mistake. It shouldn't have been that young.
Okay, because my question was that as people get older, they have more and more issues with foot comfort. So I was wondering why the age category was so narrow.
No, it should have been 28, not 18. So I think if it said 18, it was a mistake. It should be 28.
But I mean on the higher end, on the higher age range. I
Yeah.
think the cutoff was 40.
It was 40, but just in terms of really zoning in from the beginning stages, because I do I've done a lot of research and actually talked to a lot of different women and ran surveys and stuff. So the older demographic do have more issues because they've been wearing shoes long enough and they have all the impacts of ill-fitting shoes. But the benefit is that starting creating a culture where people are caring about you know, not getting to that point of having all those problems later on. 70% of injuries, back, knees, are from are caused by shoes. So either too tight, not the right amount of weight distribution, like all these different things. So that's a part of my mission, is to catch the younger generation who want the uniqueness, but also kind of silently get them on the right track.
To protect them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Questions I have, two questions. One is, where is the production done?
Production right now is in Italy, in a small area in the south of Italy. So the reason why I go there is because I not only have product demand for it now until I can actually scale, but I have like a family factory that's like kind of believing in this dream and working with me on the minimums.
You have a contract with them?
I don't have a physical contract at the moment. It's just like they've sent me the quotations and different things like that for that.
And it's order by order that they make?
I have a minimum, but I can split it up. So for example, right now I have those two styles, but how I would expand the collection is, okay, I have a green and then I'll have black. So my minimum is, I think 75 is like the least amount that I can do, but I could split that and do like maybe 20 of.
And how, no, what is your history now of production and sales, and how is this being financed?
I did it through pre-orders. I actually came up with the calculation of how much I needed to get, well, basically I did a pre-order campaign. People actually paid for the shoes up front, and I used that money to buy what they were going to sell plus the additional 20%.
How did you reach those customers? How's this?
Social media. Yeah, mostly social media. I used to do a lot of podcasts as well. And that was like really good to help my like algorithm on online. But a lot of it was really just people who saw me building this business over the years.
Can you give us some idea of the current volume?
It's in the hundreds. It's really low. I actually did a restock as well too on the last collection, the sandals that I have on now.
Right.
But those are not sale ready yet.
And was that direct to consumer, or are you already working with a Bloomies and?
I'm not working with Bloomies, no. I've only done like a women's only platform, so I've sold shoes through their platform. But everything else has been either, a lot of my orders were actually from Google Forms in the beginning, to be honest. I didn't even have my website up, and I had sales, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have one last question. Have you thought about customer satisfaction measurement for those that have purchased?
Yeah, so I have done some feedback from my customers. So a lot of that feedback is what you now see in this prototype. So, yeah.
Thank you. And now we have virtually Patricia Johnson, revamping unhealthy dishes into delicious, nutritious meals.
Greetings. I'm Patricia Ann Justin Jones. Today, I'm presenting Gemmin Healthy. Nod your head if you enjoy pizza. Wait, I'm in New York style pizza. In 2023, DoorDash reported pizza has been one of the top food items ordered. Gemmin Healthy recommends toasted pita bread and hummus. You still get that taste without the high calories, carbs, and sodium. Houston, there's a problem. Lack of education contributes to bad food selections. Our environment is being destroyed. The air, land, and water. Cultural traditions and preferences can cause early termination of life. In my family, diabetes has affected 4 generations. Large quantities, consistent eating fried chicken, greens with cornbread, and the ham hocks, macaroni and cheese. This has affected the entire family. Today, we are able to still enjoy our family but eating better. So the solution is aiming for objectives, having a guide to learning more about better choices, having fun with recipes, and going to local farms. Gem and Healthy, health conscious millennials. This is our target, 28 to 43. Those individuals leaving home, also returning back to the doctor. Moving quickly, having no worries of going to the doctor, being able to smile and be happy constantly, and of course, getting a whole new wardrobe are the values of Gem and Healthy. Every time I get a thumbs up from my niece and my sister, once we have created a healthy dish, it brings my heart to start dancing. Gem and Healthy has 3 subscriptions: Luxury, Deluxe, and Standard. My competitors, all is designed to have people eat healthy. The uniqueness of Gem and Healthy is the interaction with the food educator, with the chef while you're in a session of cooking, learning all of those cooking techniques and those things that would definitely help you continue to grow, to continue to be better. If I'm able to win this prize, or should I say, when I win this finance contribution, I would be able to be a corporation, let Chicago know Gem and Healthy is here to help. And bail, banking, accounting, insurance, and a lawyer. Throughout my journey, I've learned to network with other entrepreneurs, to have a time management, and also to keep pushing forward towards my goals. Ladies and gentlemen, Gem and Healthy is here. Are you ready?
Okay, terrific. I'm going to keep going then. So my question is, you talked about food education and food preparation. Can you just describe your team? I mean, clearly you have a tremendous amount of passion and enthusiasm and persistence. So if you could describe the team that's working with you, are they industry experts? You know, when you're talking about, you know, food and health and education, just the team you're working with or who's on your team.
Right now, my team consists of alumni at Johnson & Wales University that went in for culinary arts. We have degrees in culinary. Those would be my food educator, as we have to take up courses in culinary in order to get our degree. And then there's me, that's switching hats when I need to. That consists of my team.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Patricia. Great presentation, great delivery. Now, you have an actual product, the pizza. Am I hearing that correctly?
No, ma'am.
No, that's what I wanted to understand. There's no specific product. It's educationally focused.
It's an educational program that helps you not only be educated on healthy eating, but also teaching you food techniques and those things that is good for you versus, we're not trying to eat that. So at the beginning, it was like, we enjoy pizza, but it's a lot of sodium and carbs and calories in pizza when you could just simply have toasted pita bread and hummus and still got to enjoy it.
I'm wondering how you will, through your educational efforts, give examples to your potential clients on, eat this, not that, as an example? How will you give them?
This is a local. Right now, we start locally in Chicago. Therefore, we're going out into the communities, giving demos and showing them the difference. I don't know about other places, but I was born and raised here in Chicago, and eating has changed here. A lot of us don't know about different foods. Recently, I'm just like, where this fruit came from? And I understand that the jackfruit or dragon fruits, they came from different parts of the world, but we're limited to all of these wonderful, delicious items. You could actually take jackfruit and substitute that for the fried chicken. So there are different things that we definitely can do to still get a full, still full, not, I'm still hungry, but still able to eat healthy.
Exactly, because I think that sometimes it's hard for people to visualize what a sensible substitution might be. So you'll help them, as a part of your educational program, you'll help them with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
I was just wondering, what is the state of the business now? Do you have any clients? Are you up and running?
No, sir. I just started with the idea, and I utilize family members. I am a diabetic since I was 14 years old, so I was educated by nutritionists, by doctors on ways to lower my glucose. So many times since I've been a diabetic for over 30 years, people comes to me and say, okay, Patricia, what can we do to help lower our glucose? What can we do to get a better A1C, which is 3 months? The doctor gets to view how your sugar level has been. So with doing that, I'm able to help them, give them suggestions on things to do so they can have a better A1C.
Thank you.
Could I just ask you to clarify who your audience is? I'm just trying to, first of all, I agree, the education, the visualization, all of that's really huge as far as a marketplace need. But if you could just clarify who your initial target audience is, on who you want to educate, who are you going out? Is it in the community? Is it, I'm just trying to visualize that.
Health conscious millennials. Now, since we're in the post-COVID, there are actually researchers that saying America is trying to eat healthy. Even though 1/3 of Americans still consumes multiple trips to the fast food restaurants. So my target is the millennials. They're getting out, trying to be better, but trying to making sure that they jamming healthy, making sure that they make the right food choices when they're going out. Or, like I said, those individuals that I'm leaving home for mom and I don't get her cooking no more, and it's like, oh, I got to cook my own self, and just running to the restaurants or picking up unhealthy items.
Great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So now we now have Joseph Marks, also virtual, with your occasion, your experience, your shopping plaza, where personalized service meets fast and easy shopping.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Marks, and I'm here to talk to you about my business, the Digital Shopping Plaza. The inspiration for the Digital Shopping Plaza came from me as a kid. As a child with low vision, my mom used to take me to the mall that was close in Philadelphia called the Gallery. It amazed me how many stores existed in one space. I want to welcome you into the Digital Shopping Plaza, and I want you to be assured that you can find anything here for any occasion or event. It's your occasion, your experience, your shopping plaza, where personal service meets fast and easy shopping. Ever since the pandemic ended, brick and mortar stores have been going out of business more and more, and the digital marketplace has expanded. Amazon has increased sales by 220% in the last year. But this has led to customers because they get overwhelmed by search results for different products, and they sometimes feel like they spend too much time trying to sift through those results. Well, here at the Digital Shopping Plaza, we solve that problem for you. We solve that problem for these particular targeted audiences. Parents like my mom, people like my dad that work 2 or 3 jobs, and people like me that were busy college students that just didn't have the time to be able to sift through those results and be able to create custom, unique products for people or events that we, want to go to. How do we solve that problem? We curate and organize a platform where we can allow customers to go and customize and personalize products for different events easier, streamline the service, but still make it efficient enough for them. Aren't you tired of dealing with the busy day-to-day life and not having the time to be able to stop and create a great product for an upcoming event? Well, here at the Shopping Plaza, we help you take an ordinary product that you might find on our website and help you with our interface create an extraordinary product. How do we do that? The services that we provide are customized and personalization along with officially licensed goods through our partners that we have. Another way that we can best help you is refine the search tools so that you're not inundated and overwhelmed with the amount of products you get as results for your searches. We allow you to be able to streamline the shopping process. Some of our curated partners are Fanatics, Rally House, Spreadshirt, and TeePublic. We deal with both affiliate partners and print-on-demand services. The way that we make money at the Digital Shopping Plaza is through that affiliate partner program and through WooCommerce through our print-on-demand partners. Some of the challenges that we may face is differentiating ourselves from on Google Analytics from our partners. We want to make sure that we can still sustain organic traffic, but not steal necessarily customers from our partners. Some of our competitors are Fancydia, Amazon, and Etsy. Fancydia is the closest one to our business because they have a custom interface, but it is overwhelming for customers. We at the Digital Shopping Plaza streamline that service so it makes things easier for you. So what are the next steps? We plan on creating a subscription program. We plan on advancing how many products we have on the Digital Shopping Plaza, and we also plan on expanding how many partners we do business with. If I were so lucky to win the $4,000, I would use $2,000 to hire a web designer to create a great user experience, $1,000 to differentiate me from my partners on Google Analytics, and $1,000 for marketing. I've learned a lot from this program. I've grown in leaps and bounds, learning how to take chunks of my business and create those into successes rather than trying to conquer it all at once. I want to thank Viscardi, Iona, and all of you for joining me today.
Completely overwhelmed by the availability of stuff on the internet. What do you mean by partners? What is your relationship to them?
So I'm an affiliate partner through an interface called Impact Radius, and basically I'm able to sell their products from their website and get a commission. Essentially, there's an agreed upon contract that I don't necessarily sign physically, but that I agree to digitally.
Okay. And are you doing business now?
Yes.
Describe.
Well, the store's not launched, but I've done business as far as marketing the links. I'm just creating, as far as curating the website and opening shop, I'm still waiting to launch in about a couple months, in about 2 or 3 months.
I mean, there are many resellers on the internet that you can go to who will, I mean, I'd like to hear a little more about what differentiates you from anybody else doing this.
One of the things that I feel like differentiates me, especially from some of the resellers, is that I feel like some of the partners that I've curated from are under like a specific niche, and I'm going to try to expand those different niches, but I also feel like the thing that changes, or the thing that differentiates me from those people is that the way that my structure and interface on my website will be is that it'll make it easier. So if you have a wedding to go to, you don't have to go through all the results that may have on my store. You can just go to the wedding shop. Or if you have like a baseball game you want to go to and you know what team you're going to go see, and you go to that specific team shop. Like, I don't just make the interface important because it's just another referral affiliate website. I make it easy and streamlined for the customer to be able to find exactly what they want in exactly the right amount of time, meaning streamline the process so that I take some of that overwhelm away from.
Thank you.
Hi. So, coming out of the magazine business, I know how challenging. First of all, it's a great opportunity. I know it's challenging to curate products in real time and across multiple categories. So, my question is: it appeared that you're focused right now on the sports area of interest and consumer, given the fact that I think I saw Wilson and PGA and Fanatics, all great brand names. So clarifying that right now, your existing business model is focusing on sports, the sport consumer, sport enthusiast. What product categories will, and in what order, because you can't do everything all at one time and be an expert and curate expertly. So from sports, what will be your, say, next 2 or 3 consumer categories?
So yes, there's a main partnership with sports because I have a local sports podcast. So that's where the antithesis kind of came from. However, I am doing things through my print-on-demand partners for holidays and occasions. I would say that some of my next steps would be trying to create unique, or partnering with smaller businesses that can that have unique products and create a bigger platform for them. Basically putting them in the spotlight. Not necessarily like Amazon doing like a third party perspective, but literally bringing that smaller business to the forefront and raising them up through our platform. Some of the things that I mentioned in the presentation is as far as products, and I just want to make sure I'm answering your question in totality. We plan on doing collectibles, sports memorabilia, fan art for not just sports, but TV shows, movies, things that would entice people to come and be interested, and maybe they're buying something from a website they would have never otherwise visited.
Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation. I have a question that is similar to what you just heard, but a bit of a build. How will you determine the type of gifts and partnerships that would not only incur the most demand, but would be most profitable for your business so it's sustainable? And I'm wondering, have you thought of any research strategies to understand, what product categories would have the most demand, and would you think about tracking, the response to, the partnerships and gifts that you create?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've done a lot of research with link tracking. Also with Impact Radius, they also do clicks, links, and they have like analytics in their own platform to kind of break down like which partners have gotten the most clicks and maybe even which products. So they break it down. There's also other places like Bitly that if I really wanted to test run which products are really doing well, and if I see like an uptick in sales from a specific partner, the Bitly platform can help me kind of maybe drill down a little bit on, okay, what demographics are clicking on this link? What demographics are potentially purchasing this product? And as far as, what was your second question?
Profitability.
So the profitability, I would say that from my perspective, I always try to kind of harness the percentages of the commission, especially when it comes down to the partnerships. Sometimes the commissions are low, but that's one of the reasons why. Oh, the other question you had was about how would I do the research. So I would do my research through social media and through like Google Forms and creating surveys in order to kind of gain a better understanding of what people wanted to get and what partners potentially I could look into. Say, for example, if a person or the research showed that people were more interested in unique home goods, maybe I look into home goods partners and look for smaller businesses that sell unique home goods, and maybe even put up examples onto the surveys to see if anyone would like any of those, just to see if there's like a product research, almost like focus groups.
Thank you.
So could I now introduce Gabriela Mendoca? Am I saying it correctly? Who the business is Blind in Sight, Visionary in Life.
Hi, I'm Gabriela Mendonza, and today I will be presenting my business, My Vision for You Accessibility Consulting. My Vision for You is on a mission to not only improve accessibility across the board, but we want to make sure that the blind community is being seen, heard, and valued. Did you know that only 16.5% of people with a visual impairment have a bachelor's degree or higher, while 39.5% of people living without a disability have a bachelor's degree or higher? The problem is that visually impaired people don't feel included when it comes to accessibility on campus. I hope to help to solve this problem by working with universities and colleges to make their campus accessible and to better help accommodate their students. In a recent survey I did, the majority of people said that they had trouble getting accessible assignments, difficulty making friends because people didn't feel inclined to speak to students with disabilities, while others said that it was hard navigating campus because it was not accessible. I will be working with small businesses and universities. Working with my business will not only lead to more students with visual impairments applying to college, therefore further diversifying campus, but it will also lead to strengthening alumni networks, which can lead to higher rates of employment for blind students upon graduating. As a blind individual myself, I can relate to what these students are experiencing. My time throughout college was very difficult. I oftentimes did not receive accessible assignments and dealt with a lot of discrimination when it came to my accommodations. My vision for you is hoping to help to spread awareness to the blind community, as well as increasing the need and importance for accessibility. Customers will pay for monthly subscriptions. We will develop payment plans and courses that will include monthly student check-ins to make sure that the student is being properly accommodated, maintaining campus accessibility by working with facilities, as well as ADA laws and compliances. A challenge we might face in this area is budget constraints. If colleges have fixed budgets, my vision for you will do our best to make sure that we can still collaborate with them. My business is different from other businesses like MicroAssist because MicroAssist is mainly focused on general accessibility. Blindness is a spectrum, and yes, even though general accessibility is very important, there can still be a lot of obstacles. Everyone within the blind community requires different accommodations. Some of my competitors are MicroAssist, Perkins Access, whose focus is digital accessibility, as well as Level Access. Moving forward, I hope to continue to maintain connections and relationships with offices like the Diversities Office at universities, as well as facilities to maintain their campus accessibility. I hope to be able to work with these universities to maintain their campus accessibility across the board. If I were to receive any of the funds, I will put it towards hiring a web developer to help develop a website and make sure that it reaches the web content accessibility guidelines, work with a ADA specialist or accessibility coordinator to understand legal actions, develop a marketing strategy, as well as hire someone to help with engagement and outreach. During my time at the program, I was able to meet like-minded individuals, and I was able to tap into my creativity in new ways. At first, when I started this program, I felt very stagnant because I didn't really know how I wanted to move forward with this business. But in working with my classmates, my teacher, and my mentor, I was able to persevere. I'm so glad that we were all able to support each other, and I thank you for your amazing connections.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I have a question, and I just wrote it down. I don't know a lot about the space, but I have been taught a lot through Dr. Rosa, who is here, as you might know, and we have really talked for a decade about the sort of getting to students earlier. And so I know even before college. So, so first of all, shout out to you, and you know that you actually got through that process. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So, so how do you feel about the importance of the discussion before you make the decision to go to college? Because many choose not to. I'm just curious if the high school audience, it may not be a paid audience because they may not have the budgets, but I'm just curious in your value proposition, when you thought about it, how important that first step is. And was that clear, by
Yes,
the way?
that was very clear.
I told you I
Very
don't know I don't know it well enough, but I know just enough to be dangerous. Thank you, Dr. Rosa.
Yes, so I have thought about high school because, as you know, many of us may know, the transition between high school to college can be a very difficult one. You know, in high school and in the earlier stages of school, you usually get a TBI, a vision teacher, and a para to work with you on a day-to-day basis. But when you graduate, you don't get to take that person with you. And that can be very difficult for some people because maybe they're not really used to advocating quite often because they have enough support to help them. So I do believe that working with high school students to be able to start having that discussion of how to stay proactive and advocate on behalf of what you need, because like I mentioned in my pitch, I dealt with so many different issues across the board when it came to accommodations in college, and I wish that beforehand I had more experience and more understanding of how to deal with dealing with that, to put it in some sort of way, because there can be a lot of isolation. You feel sort of excluded because, like I said, you kind of left this environment where you were kind of, you know, supported differently, and coming into a new environment with new people, learning how to deal with those challenges that comes with that, like dealing with how to navigate a campus for the first time. As a student with a visual impairment or any disability for that matter. So I think that your question is really great, and I do think that that is something that I will definitely add to my list of things because I have definitely thought about that for sure.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Gabriella, for your presentation.
Of course.
One thing that was going through my mind as you were talking about this idea is how to resource it. If you are, you know, successful in having lots of partners, university partners, have you thought about how to resource it, you know, with volunteers maybe from nonprofits, or, you know, am I getting that right? That was going through my mind, how to resource this idea.
Of course. So I have thought about that as well. As a blind individual, I've been involved with many, many organizations and non-for-profits, one of those being the American Council for the Blind, ACB, and the American Foundation for the Blind, as well as Visions. And so those are just to name a few of the organizations or non-for-profits that I would be partnering partnering with as well as working with to kind of push the idea of this and push this further, as well as getting the necessary resources. ACB is very big on advocacy, and so whether it's through going to their meetings and networking there and being able to have further discussions about this business, I know that that is just one of the many ways that I would be able to help further resource this.
Thank you.
Of course.
I just want a clarification. Your business idea is to actually get contracts or subscriptions with individual universities, colleges.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
They want to hire you as a consultant to put the program together for students with disabilities?
Yes. So working with colleges to make sure that they are, one, accommodating their students properly, so whether that's in giving them extra time on exams and tests, and also being able to then develop, as I mentioned in the pitch, develop some sort of course that can kind of give them that training on a constant, continuous basis. Because I know for me, when I was in college, I had to send out an accommodation letter multiple times throughout the semester, which makes sense. You know, professors get super busy and they have multiple students, but I think that kind of keeping that reminder of accessibility and the importance of it at the forefront of their minds as they're kind of going through the year and the semester is essentially what I want to try to be able to help to do.
Have you identified colleges and universities that are doing a particularly good job in this area? Have
Yes.
best practices?
Yes, one of the colleges or universities is actually at Delphi. I've heard that they've done some really good research and resourceful. They've done a really good job with helping their students to make sure that they get every accommodation that they need.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify one question, because content is such a it's a broad term. And so the content that you'll be creating with colleges and universities and, are they training modules? Can you briefly describe what content is in your mind?
Sure. Yes, they would be training modules. So ACB does offer training, so I would work with them as a resource to help design and kind of get a layout for that. Training modules that would include what is an accommodation letter, ADA laws and compliances, working with any individuals that do ADA and accessibility coordination to kind of further understand the legal actions, because by law, every university and building has to have accessibility at the forefront and make sure that that's a main important factor to take into consideration. So yes, one of the things would be training modules.
Thank you.
Of course.
Great, thank you. So now I would like to welcome to the stage Eric Ryan, prioritizing accessibility and going the extra mile.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, today I am honored to present to you Tripper, a revolutionary transportation company designed to cater to the needs of wheelchair users, addressing critical shortcomings in the current market. Currently, wheelchair users face significant challenges existing with transportation options as they are now. Services require bookings at least 24 hours in advance, leading to inflexibility and missed opportunities. Long wait times and instances of early departures are all too common, exacerbated by drivers lacking essential knowledge about their customers' needs. Tripper's solution is straightforward, yet transformative. We offer same-day bookings, providing our customers to the freedom to plan their day spontaneously. Our reliable transportation ensures family can enjoy outings together, individuals can attend job interviews promptly, and everyone can increase their community involvement without worrying about if the driver will show up or not. Market research underscores the urgency of our mission. Suffolk County Paratransit has 700,000 rides last year. The feedback from their customers highlights their unreliability and apparent disregard for their customers' needs. Our value proposition is based on 3 pillars: discrete and spacious vehicles, comfort and privacy are paramount. Easier life event planning. We facilitate seamless scheduling for important occasions. Prioritize customer care. We build lasting relationships by truly understanding and meeting our customers' needs. What sets Tripper apart from competitors is our commitment to reliability, punctuality, and growth, with a team that includes the firsthand experience of a wheelchair user at its home. We're uniquely positioned to deliver exceptional service. Importantly, we actively listen to our customers, ensuring each trip is tailored to their specific requirements and needs. Now, let's talk numbers. In the past year, Tripper has completed 121 trips. With our current trajectory and expanding customer base, we project a 5-fold increase in trips over the coming year. Regarding pricing, our rates are competitive and transparent. New York City trips are $135 base rate with $5 a mile. For our Long Island trips, which are our home base, they are $35 base rate with a $3 per mile. Looking forward, our ambitious 3-year plan includes solidifying our reputation, expanding our customer base, 5-fold and growing our fleet by adding 6 more vans. Additionally, we aim to introduce party bus services for weddings, proms, and family events, as well as wine tours out east. Strengthening partnerships with nonprofits and other organizations and exploring new markets nationwide are also in our strategy. If awarded the grant, Tripper will allocate the $4,000 towards hiring part-time dispatcher needed for those trips, expanding our marketing and acquire bookkeeping services. Thank you very much for all your time. My name is Eric. This is my company, Tripper. I will take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
What is your financial situation now, and how are you being funded?
Sure. So we started July of last year. I did a GoFundMe. We raised $7,000 to start. Luckily, I had my own van, which is why I started this company. I'll make it very quick, but when I was 18, I got my first own van. Before then, I used to miss family parties, weddings, even a funeral or two. And then since getting that van, I now had a full-time job. I went to college. I had several relationships. It's a game changer. So I started, I raised $7,000. Then we incorporated, we got the proper insurance, and my business partner he has his own job, but he does all the driving without taking a salary. So we're building to purchase more fleets. We now partnered with the Spina Bifida Association for the next 2 months. We're actually going to be doing a ride for them July 26th through the 28th for an ADA event. And that payment for what we'll be getting will be enough to get our 3rd van.
Congratulations on a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry, nope, we'll go in order.
Yes, thank you for your wonderful presentation. And my question is a build on, what my fellow judge has said. It's you have a lot of liability when you're driving people around. Of course, there's insurance, but I'd like to know what your thoughts are on mitigating that liability.
Sure, so I'll give you the quickest example I can. So I had just myself and my business partner. We just hired our first driver in New York City, but before hiring him, I met with him 3 or 4 times, and then what we do is, unlike our competitors, we won't just hire somebody that has a license and pass a background check. I actually had him take me for about 3 weeks on different trips, and he would join me for like the day to a movie or go to a ballpark, and I would, in my head, see, this is what he does well, this is how he drives, do I feel safe in the van? Because as a wheelchair user, I wouldn't want somebody else to go in a van that I'm unsafe with. So that's how we would be hiring people, is it would be like probably a 30-day I guess, trial period where he would drive myself around and my business partner would evaluate him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're building on the same thing, so I'm glad we started at that end. I'll just continue to adjust my, my build question. So just, it's the same question, but two-prong. Your ultimate plan is that you're going to continue to build a fleet. So you're hiring and managing, training and all of that. You're hiring and managing the entire fleet as a company?
So we actually pivoted a little bit. Here's the thing. With intercity travel, like it happens in Chicago, California, and New York, there is 0 Ubers accessible on Long Island. So you can go from Queens and take a wheelchair accessible Uber into Long Island. But how are you going to get home? There is no option. So I said the market is literally wide open. So what my goal is to get into all those cities. This is big picture, but get into all those cities and be that gap from the cities to the suburban areas.
And then the second part, so thank you, is there is a huge unmet need, as you just commented. The market, your quote was, is wide open. I think I saw in there that, is it $125 per ride?
So that's for New York City.
For new. So I guess my question is how big can this get? There's a huge opportunity, but it's sometimes cost prohibitive for people to tap into these services.
So it wasn't in the pitch, but there's two things we're doing right now. Number one is that pitch was made before we hired the New York City driver. So we were sending a van from, I don't know if you guys know Long Island, but Amityville, Long Island, into the city. So we couldn't lose money sending a van. So that's why those prices are where they were. Now that we have a driver in the city, that base rate will probably change a little bit. And then to answer, what was your other question? I'm sorry.
I was wrestling in my mind with, the need relative to the cost. Even if it's $50 a day, how do you address the cost barrier?
Absolutely. So I will tell you, number one, you'd be surprised at how many people have had terrible experiences with because that was our first worry when we started. But people are more than willing to pay the price of a Uber Premier. So if you looked up, pretty much our prices are equivalent to not a regular Uber ride, but an Uber SUV ride, because their SUVs are more money, and with our vans they're more expensive. As well as we just got affiliated with. You'd have to know what Self Direction is. It's a program through the state of New York, but we got affiliated with the biggest FI in the state. So any of their participants, their budget would pay for their transportation. So I can now bill ISS, the agency, directly. I have to wait 30 days for payment, but we get paid, and no money comes out of the participant's pocket.
I was going to ask about subsidies.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And that's also why in the thing, in the pitch, I put, working with nonprofits, because I went to the expo in Jersey. There was a Abilities Expo, and there is a nonprofit that will help raise money for transportation, not for us, but for a client that needs to pay for transportation.
Sorry, I'm going to ask one more question. I can't resist. So you mentioned earlier reliability. You have to be confident that somebody's actually going to show up. So that obviously means that you have to have highly qualified drivers, the prior question, but also you have to have a pipeline of drivers. You have to have a volume of drivers. How are you finding, not the qualifying, but how are you attracting drivers to build that aspect out?
So I have not monetary, but I have a partnership with Busani in Bethpage, and they have a TLC department where they assist drivers getting their TLC license and their livery services on Long Island. So, and they only do wheelchair accessible vehicles. So I don't even have to worry about does this guy buy an accessible vehicle? I know if you're going to Busani, you're getting an accessible vehicle. So he will give them my contact, and he'll say, hey, are you looking for non-emergency medical transportation? There's a big need on Long Island. And what we did actually for the New York trip, the New York driver, we're doing a contract basis, so he's insured. He insured his own vehicle. He pays obviously gas and whatever, we do a 70-30 split. So I'm pretty much a hub.
Are the drivers vetted and background checked?
So every driver in the state of New York has to have a, when you get a TLC license, you have to do a drug test and a background check. So the state of New York is doing that for us already.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, could I get Christina Sparrock on stage? Empowerment through advocacy, breaking free from intimate partner violence.
Good day. My name is Christina Sparrock, a woman with a disability who survived intimate partner violence. I'm also the founder of See the Person, Inc., or STP, a developing New York City nonprofit that seeks to promote the well-being of people with disabilities. Today, my presentation will be on empowerment through advocacy, breaking free from intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence, or IPV, differs from domestic violence. IPV only relates to current and past spouses or partners. However, the devastating impact is the same. Emotional, physical, and psychological abuse against women should not be normalized. Studies show worldwide that 1 out of 3 women experience IPV, but for those with disabilities, the rates are doubled. In addition to the common abuses, the abuse for this group can be removal of medical devices, their benefits, medication, and more. All this greatly hinders the quality of life for these women. To add, systemic problems occur in the criminal justice and healthcare settings. In this space, many IPV victims don't report for fear of abuser's retaliation. There is a lack of belief in the victims, and the system fails to prosecute the abuser. Other problems involve services. Where are the services? Do they cater to my specific disability? And will I be hospitalized? Overall, the abuses, systemic barriers, and the lack of services leaves women with disabilities and IPV feeling helpless. To offset these obstacles, the value proposition, STP will provide supportive, trauma-informed, safe space individually tailored to women with disabilities and IPV, and through advocacy, help survivors advocate for positive outcomes. To fund this unique initiative, a city government has already offered $20,000 to invest. STP will further seek more resources from social justice foundations, and individual donations are welcomed. Our solution includes raising awareness, offering support groups to empower women, and connecting them to vital services such as disability justice lawyers, building coalitions with like-minded partners, and advocating for the positive systemic change through legislation. Barrier-Free Living, a partner-ending competitor, is the only New York City organization that provides services for people with disabilities experiencing domestic violence, unlike STP, which limits services to women with disabilities and IPV. To fulfill this mission, STP will work with partners to help reduce health disparities. Using the 2024 World Health Organization's report will help me raise awareness, understand unmet needs, and understand service gaps. In the first year, the course entails startup activities of nonprofit incorporation and website development for $3,000. Operations would include rents to have the workshops and facilitate groups, purchase supplies for about $3,000. Marketing would be social media like Facebook, Instagram, and branding for $1,000. And advocacy would entail providing transportation to members to go see legislators, to advocate for change, and to hire interpreters for like $7,500. In my entrepreneurial journey, I learned that as challenging as it is to relive my own personal traumatic experience as a domestic violence survivor, that listening to stories of women with disabilities and IPV made me realize that I am not alone. My resilience is critical to weathering the storm. My continued collaboration and creativity will help this topic maintain its relevance and provide a platform to advocate for the well-being of millions of women experiencing intimate partner violence. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, for your presentation. I have 2 questions. The first is, Is there any research that you have to understand the service gaps where women are needing the most support? That's the first question. And then the second question, is safety an issue for these participants? Is anonymity an issue? And if it is, how is that protected?
So for me personally, I'm a woman with woman with disability and was in domestic violence, intimate partner violence relationship. And when I had to file a restraining order against a partner, the police didn't believe me. When I went to court, I didn't have any support or peer to come with me with a similar experience to help me navigate the court system. So I felt other and I felt dismissed and I didn't feel protected. This individual is actually still, through AI, is still targeting me through AI, but I don't have the supports, and so I don't always feel safe. And so when it comes to protection, most of us don't feel safe. You asked something else. I'm not sure if I answered your entire question.
Well, the research. Yeah.
So yeah, the World Health Organization put out a report this year in 2024, the first report ever on this topic, because it seems like our target population is being folded in with people with disabilities in general, or just women in IPV relationships, right? And then it's also in the report, there were gaps in the World Health Organization reports because they didn't know how to, when they were doing the research, they contacted people who were hearing impaired by phone. So there's a gap in the World Health Organization support. So I hope to partner with them, with a group of women with varying disabilities, to say, hey, please hear our voice. We need to be at the seat at the table, because often people are not included at the seat at the table who look like us. I believe in an upstream approach to advocacy as opposed to a downward approach, because our voices matter. Does that answer everything?
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, it's a great representation in the way you mapped it all out. And given everything you've described, there's so many ways to try to address the need, the problem. So in your opinion, what would you say would be the main, your lead feature that you think would be most important in helping to go at the challenge? Is it a service? Is it a product? I know you mentioned in that sort of journey, groups and bringing people together. So I'm just curious, is it a service-driven model?
It's more of a service-driven, because my approach would be like, I know we say in the Caribbean community, it's not an I ting, it's a we ting. So it's like, I want to hear the stories from everyone at the table, because my experience will be different from another person. And I want to understand, it's like, well, my lawyer was good, but mine wasn't. I want to say, well, I couldn't get to my service. Why not? Maybe my accessoride didn't go out there, or this organization claimed to be able to help people with disabilities, but when I came in and I had a vision impairment, there was nobody here to help me. So hearing all those stories and putting them together and working with those other partners, we could be able to help shape policy. So, because in order to have the policy, shape the policy, they'll give the funding, and it'll channel down to all the community-based organizations to help people like us.
And I think if you're focused on transportation, Eric may be a good partner for you if we're working on collaborative opportunities.
Yeah, thank you.
My question is, you've laid out the problem and the need terrifically. What is the business? Who are you selling to? I'm not quite sure. How are you making money?
So it's going to be a nonprofit. My nonprofit's called See the Person, and I named it See the Person, Understand the Circumstances, because we're so busy pathologizing people's diagnosis. But I don't want people to look at the diagnosis. I'm a person first. And so through my See the Person organization, I do train other people on raising awareness about person-centered language. And I've also trained with the police department, educating about raising awareness about people.
Who is your customer and who is paying you?
So basically I'm going to get funding I have a meeting with the senator next week, and I'm trying to get discretionary funding from him to start my business. I also have another meeting with the borough president, and he's offering $20,000. I just have to make a good pitch for them, right? So, but I'm not requiring the people in need to pay, because a lot of times we're on disability and we can't afford it. It should be a service that's offered from community-based organizations.
So you're talking about government funding, basically.
Yes. And foundations. I have relationships with foundations as well, disability justice organizations.
Okay, Hynes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, we have Maria Torre remotely, and the business is a stress-free, all-inclusive creative studio where your imagination can run free.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maria Torre. I've been a craft teacher, a designer, and artist for over 20 years. And one thing I've noticed about the art world is that there's a lack of accessible studios, especially on Long Island. And All Can Do Studio, I aim to fix that. There are estimated 54 million people in America who identify themselves with some sort of disability. 49% of disabled people feel like they're excluded in society. With All Can Do Studio, I plan to empower disabled and non-disabled people to thrive in a state-of-the-art studio where I can have classes that will engage disabled and non-disabled people in a friendly atmosphere. The art world has grown exponentially over the last couple of years. In 2023, there was an estimated $22 billion business. By 2030, they estimated to be a $78 billion industry. Yes, I have some competitors. There is Accessible Art Studio and Board and Branch and AR Workshop and Joann's and Michael's. As for Accessible Arts and Arts United, they're based in New York, not on Long Island. And the other studios, they're just not accessible. With All Can Do Studio, I plan to have inclusive store design with small chairs and smaller tables and chairs, markers for disabled people, markers for people to get tablets for hearing impaired. All Can Do Creative Studio will have a wide range of classes in different mediums, painting, sculpting, scrapbooking, stuff like that. We'll have specialty classes for sensory, for autistic kids that are they have sensory issues with small class size and a less talkative class. They also have a pay-per class and subscription series for people to try. I also hope to have birthday parties and girls' night out and painting sips. What's next for All Can Do Studio, where we're looking for an actual structure right now. With Julie Arwansky, my CFO, we're looking into a classroom that was a decommissioned elementary school, which would make it very easy for us to make it accessible. What will I do with the funding? I'll buy adaptive equipment for classes, hire qualified staff, make a website, and marketing. My reason for doing this is, like I said, I've been in the craft business for so many years, and I want to spread my enthusiasm for art. It is a healing form of expression, and I hope to help shake up the art world by having this all-encompassing community. So I'm hoping that you guys will help me reach my dream. Thank you.
I think it's a fabulous idea. I've seen the work of disabled students at Viscardi in the art world, which are just unbelievable. The potential there is wonderful, and how they pursue that after they finish school or while they're in school is a great unmet need, and I applaud you for thinking of this. Your business model is to charge people for classes, is that correct? Any idea what you're charging and how realistic it is for people with limited incomes?
Like I said, I'm gonna charge relatively low rates. Paper crafting is the lowest amount that I'll be charging. I think around $20 to $25 for a class. If you're gonna do mixed media, it's gonna be a little bit more, around $30, $35. But then I'm also gonna do a subscription model, which will be more cost effective for the disabled person, because they'll pay one rate and they'll be able to take any class they want for the month. So they'll pay like $35 and they'll be able to take 3 classes for the month.
And great socialization opportunities as well for people.
Right, that's exactly why I want to start this, because as a disabled person, I've been going to studios forever because I'm an artist, and that was my major problem. I would go to these studios and would feel left out because their chairs would be the high top chairs, and so they would be up here and I'd be down here. It's very hard to have a conversation. So I would love to make a studio where everybody feels inclusive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I share in the same enthusiasm. I think we've all seen, and I'm reminded of from the Muscular Dystrophy Association, they had a long history of just an art collection of people living with one of our diseases, and it was just extraordinary. So people's interest in just having a creative outlook seems to be a real opportunity, and as you just heard, a social aspect as well that's very important. So I'm looking for what you think is your greatest challenge, because there just seems to be just a great opportunity in front of you. So what am I not seeing? What's your greatest risk? What's your greatest challenge?
Well, right now the greatest challenge is actually finding the right property, to be honest with you, because a lot of places I would have to change the landscape of the building to make it accessible with finding a bathroom, because that's a big challenge I found, is that a lot of places I've gone, they're not accessible. They're not, don't have a handicap bathroom. They're just accessible. Like, they get away with the ADA laws, but they're not completely accessible. So that my challenge is actually just going to be the actual architecture. Finding teachers, I think, would be not that hard, because I have a long line of knowing a lot of teachers, and there are teachers, plus there are school teachers that know how to adapt classes for different abilities and stuff like that. So that's my biggest challenge, is finding a place.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks very much for your presentation and your passion. I have a question that sort of builds on the last question. It's interesting that, the challenge that you cite is location, service delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
So my question, as I was listening to your presentation, I think it's great to, come together in person, and have that kind of community. But I'm thinking with the disability community, some may have challenges getting out to these areas. Have you ever thought about, virtual classes, where you can deliver the service that way?
Yes. Actually, one of my ideas was, even with the class, like, I want you to come out, because I think that problem with disabled the disabled community in general is they don't get to go out and do social activities. But what I was thinking about doing is actually doing my class with the people there, but also taping it for YouTube, and then they can access it through YouTube and have a link to ask any questions they have. I will be able to answer any questions they have.
Would you consider doing virtual classes where it's synchronous?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
that might be another service delivery option to match the challenge of finding locations.
It's funny that you said that, because I've done virtual classes during COVID. My friends, to keep our sanity, we had a Skype group, and we were all our crafters, and we would do once a week. Each of us would teach another technique. So I've done online classes before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Maria. But could I get that applause continuing for all the participants who rocked it today? And channeling Holly online, she said, hold on, let me read it. Yes, she's online and she can't talk, but she said you guys all knocked it out of the park. So great job in the presentation. She is extremely proud online, but I think we are all mesmerized in what you guys accomplished in these couple of weeks. Your presentations were it. So now the judges have a hard time making decisions. So good job on making it hard for them. I would now like the judges to go into deliberation. You're going to be joined by Rihanna and myself to sort of deliberate and score all these sheets. And I invite everybody else to have some lunch. We're back.
I know.
And we are super excited. And the judges had a really hard time making decisions, but they're made. And now we're going to celebrate. So for the third place winner, it's Miguel Angel. Woo! So the second place winner is, drum roll, Maria Torres. Woo! All right. So for our first place winner, we're excited to say it's Eric. Woo! Awesome. I now invite Christoph, Dr. Winkler, to come to say a couple of words, who's then going to introduce Dr. Rosa.
Yeah, I'm going to be brief because, Chris, I think I want to give you appropriate opportunity to also share some of your reflections. But I think a big thank you goes to our students, our participants of this program. You are inspiring, you're remarkable, you're as entrepreneurial as I've ever seen, individuals participating in these types of competition. Your ideas are really, inspiring. And I hope, despite the fact that only 3 of you could place first, second, and third, that all of you will continue on your journey. And let the journey that you've already undertaken be the energy and the source for you to continue and do what you think is best for you and for your businesses. And also rest assured, I'm going to speak for all of Hynes and Viscardi too. I'm going to take a leap of faith here. This is not the end of this participation. Like we hope to stay in touch. We've seen with Kimberly, she's still engaged and coming back, and we want to also support you beyond today. So again, congratulations to all of you, really amazing. So I think everybody share a round of applause for our participants. And of course, everybody on Zoom as well. I do also want to thank our judges. The AC is working. It's the judges' thinking and deliberation that heated up this room. I do want to point that out. So thank you for your insights, your reflections, but also your questions that you shared with our participants, because sometimes those questions are really the ones who really push us into that next level and force us to think in ways to really, how can we improve on our ideas or better articulate an idea. And so thank you to our judges as well. So really thank you for that. And then I want to point out our team, and I'll let Chris do the Viscardi team. But Marisol and Rihanna were there from day one. In particular, the two of them have been really leading the path, along with Holly, our resident chief instructor. You guys have done an amazing job. So really, thank you also for that work. So I will continue with the applauses. Chris, you're never going to speak today. No. And then of course our peer mentors and everybody else involved here. This is really a team effort, and I think the biggest, contribution to the Hynes Institute in terms of partnerships and how to make partnerships work has really been our collaboration with the Viscardi Center. Chris and I have known each other for around 20 years, but being in a place now where we can bring our respective institutions together to create impactful work and to learn from each other, to share that good work, is really a tribute to, your I call it genius, don't blush, but also your willingness to take a leap of faith in building something that is really remarkable. So thank you, Chris, and I'm going to pass it on to you, and that will actually conclude our, day today. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And then I want to point out our team and the team. But, you know, being here today, we are super excited. And I think the biggest, I think, contribution to the Hynes Institute in terms of partnerships and how to make partnerships work has really been our collaboration with the Viscardi Center. Chris and I have known each other for around 20 years, but being in a place now where we can bring our respective institutions together to create impactful work, is really a tribute to, your
not only a remarkable sentiment for somebody I love and admire, but what a great mic stand, ladies and gentlemen, huh? Thank you. This has been a remarkable day for all of us. And this has been a truly remarkable collaboration for the Viscardi Center to be able to work with the Hynes Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation here at Iona University. The notion that we could be aligned with such a value-centered university, such a leading-edge institute focused on making sure that the dynamism of entrepreneurship and creativity is accessible and inclusive of everyone is just a very humbling opportunity for us. And Christoph, it really reflects your leadership. I'm not surprised. We have been friends, colleagues, and collaborators for 20 years, and quite frankly, the way that this partnership came to pass is the Viscardi Center, from its origins, has deep roots in entrepreneurship. We were started in 1952 essentially as a social enterprise by our founder, Dr. Henry Viscardi, who, frustrated with the inability to move the dial when it came to employment of people with disabilities, said, well, we'll build it ourselves. We will develop an enterprise and hire individuals with disabilities. And so in 1952, our parent organization, Abilities Incorporated, was founded by Dr. Viscardi, and the enterprise was run by and for people with disabilities at every level. And today, very much, I feel like we're participating in that rich legacy. And I think our entrepreneurs are the richest embodiment of that core principle of nothing about us without us. And I think that's coming to pass in the development of their really remarkable ideas. I really wanted to thank, with all my heart, our judges. You've been really remarkable leaders for all of us, and I'm very grateful for your presence in our lives and for the time and care and insight and wisdom that you've shared with our entrepreneurs. We're very, very grateful. A special thanks to the members of our team. I wanted to thank my Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, who figures out a way to fund our partnership, Cheryl Buchel. Thank you for being here. Lauren Marzo, who's our Senior Vice President for Development, is always thinking outside of the box for new and innovative ways to deepen our commitment to entrepreneurship and partnership with Hynes. And our intrepid leader, Dawn Nolan, our Senior Vice President for Program Development, who's really helped us to develop a bold vision to make our collaboration sustainable and to build our capacity to engage more entrepreneurs with disabilities. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you. This is July. It is Disability Pride Month nationally. The capstone event of that will be the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act on July 26th. The ADA for all of us has really been transformative in terms of access and opportunity for Americans with disabilities. It's transformed access to public places and to make sure that businesses make their products and services accessible to people with disabilities. The one thing that it has not guaranteed is economic opportunity and economic equity for people with disabilities. A disheartening fact is that 34 years and almost 50 years down the road of disability rights legislation designed to address inequities in economic participation for people with disabilities. People with disabilities are still overrepresented among those who live in poverty, and still only a third of Americans with disabilities are employed. At Viscardi, we work on that each and every day and look for new and innovative ways for people to find their niche, to participate equity in our nation's economic development and economic growth. And I feel like our participation with Hynes is the richest expression of that. Each and every one of the entrepreneurs that we've heard from today are carving out their own niche. They're creating economic opportunity for themselves, and what they will build will provide the dynamism that will allow thousands of people with disabilities to become employed. And I'm confident that from these leaders, you'll see the next big thing. When you think about things that we live with and that are routine parts of our lives, like word prediction, voice recognition, spell check, Velcro, all of these things that are, benign features, innocuous features of our daily lives, were all developed by entrepreneurs who either had disabilities or focused on people with disabilities at their target market, and its impact has been diffuse in our culture. I expect that these entrepreneurs will be our next generation of agents of cultural change. And if you listen closely and you listen to the products that they design, therein is our culture and our community. And that's what we celebrate as this month, Disability Pride Month. So thank you so much for being here and allowing us to be your partners. We love you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Chris, again for this collaboration. I'm sure this will not be the second and last. We'll continue the trajectory so we can see how we can support even more entrepreneurs with disabilities and ultimately, create, as you said, a better world for everyone. And I do want to also point out Anne-Marie Hynes, who is here as well. If you haven't met her, she's responsible for us not only to carry the name, but also being part with the mission that we set out. And I think today is a wonderful celebration of that as well. So thank you for that. Thank you all. Now let's celebrate. Okay.